Oh, once again. See, it's weird. Whenever I push that YouTube and Facebook at the same time, YouTube always comes on faster than Facebook. I always think it's quite interesting since it's being Facebook. I know. I'm just saying. Okay, hey everybody, it's Louis Porter Jr. Today is the 4th, not the 3rd that I originally thought it was, and marked a bunch of things saying the 3rd, so I had to go back and change those. So yes, today is the 4th of October. Welcome to seeing another lovely episode of Transparency Agenda. Yeah, this one's going to be slightly controversial for a couple reasons, because I'm going to do some stuff. But the title, like, $30 bundle sounds great, except, it's going to be some issues. So I'm going to wait before I really get into that and start talking about that. But I know a lot of people want to see what that's about. Because, yeah, it's going to be one of those, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. And oh, I didn't know that. Plus, I want everybody to get a great perspective on this. So I'm going to give it a few minutes, let everybody get on, see what's going on. Hey, BJ, what's going on? And so they can get a better view of what I'm talking about and what this means. Because I think a lot of people saw recently, well, let me do the precursor. A lot of people saw what Owen Casey Stevens has done recently. He did his bundle of products, which he had 30 products available for sale. Oh, sorry, not 30, good Lord. He had 600 products. Is it the exact number, 600? Let me check the bundle. Let me check the, boom. The bundle, I believe, was 600. Yes, I believe this bundle was 600. Well, let's put it this: 293 books, over 3,000 pages of content for $30. That's what it was. Hey, Indira. Hey, Sean. What's going on? It was, hey, Jonathan. It was made with the concept of, giving a lot of product for an amazing price and getting people to buy it, which, is pretty simple and pretty easy. Hey, Jonathan. And a lot of people would be naturally, want to do that. I mean, it's pretty simple. And a lot of people, let's be honest, Owen's a great guy. We all know Owen. He's an awesome, awesome guy. So it's only natural that people said, hey, this is a cool idea. Why don't I support it? I think it's a great idea. So, boom. And this ran for 2 months, which was surprising for me. I thought it'd be just really short and in and out kind of scenario, but it ran for 2 months. And well, I guess I can say it since it's been put in the public. I guess I can say this. I learned, well, actually, I think Owen said it. It ran so well that Owen actually made, within, I think, 2 months worth of sales, got to a 5-digit sale, which is roughly, $10,000. This thing generated at least $10,000 during that time. Now, that's a lot of money. Let's not kid anybody. 10 grand for anybody's things is really impressive. You can't knock that. That's an awesome, awesome thing. And it's just one of those kind of cool things. I guess I have to go to this. Step back to yesterday. I was talking about some new products we just released in Neo Exodus campaign setting. And John over at D20PFRD was like, why aren't you selling my product on my site like that? And I very much was like, look, I like selling on RPG Now and Paizo, not because I don't like him. It's like I don't like the process that it takes to upload my product to there. It's not something I feel very comfortable with. And that was always been an issue for me. That's always been one of my issues with the whole thing. Personally, of course, I think it's a good site. I use the site. I think it's an awesome site to use. But it is kind of one of those things that it's like, oh, this really upsets me that I have to do it this way because, when you've got a system set up and you've been doing it for so long like I have, it's very easy to basically just do the system very quickly, get it up, get it running, put it out there, boom, you get everything you need in one fell swoop, as it were. So that's kind of how I want it to be. So he asked me to talk to him later about some other projects, and then we continued on with the show, of course. So we basically did that. That being said, later on, and then this must have been. I went to bed, of course, after everything was done, and I woke up. And this morning, I was reading a thread. And I was partially awake, so I can't even tell you if I think this is a dream or this really happened. I think it's really happened, but it might have actually been a dream. It's one of those kind of weird moments. So I'm looking at the thread, and there's a thread, and basically it's saying that John was comparing. Hey, Troy. Hey, Jonathan. He was comparing two companies. One company that sold very, very well on the site, making a lot of money, 5 digits, biggest check ever he's ever given out to one company, and another company that had a lot of products, but didn't sell on his thing, didn't promote, doing that whole thing. And he said, and the person that promoted, he'd be getting more sales on the site, and that was the whole thing. Okay. He didn't name either company. Now, the first company, of course, was Owen, but Owen's been talking about this. This $30 bundle has been promoted very well. Not a big surprise, not a big deal. The second company he doesn't name. Well, I'll tell you right up bat. He's talking about me. So, it's Louis Porter Jr. I've always, I said before, I focus on selling at the places I sell at. But I'll tell you why that in a second. That's not important. So he kind of put this out. People were making comments on it. And it was just very funny to me and his basic pitch was, you should also doing $30 bundles. It's a really great idea. It's a great thing to do these $30 bundles. Now, that being said, I was laughing inside. You'll find out in a second why. Look, I understand his need to want to push these to people. I think it's a good idea. I understand. The $30 bundle that Owen put together was an awesome bundle. It made a bunch of money, and it did very well for him. And it's supposed to, because it's like, dude, a ton of pages for a dirt cheap price. Who wouldn't pick that up? And that kind of was the focus of that. And that was a good focus. It was a smart focus. The problem with that is something that people don't know or probably don't have a lot of experience on or haven't seen before. So I wanted to bring this up tonight. So in the links on the bottom, of course, for YouTube, and up here for Facebook, I have only 3 links today, and there's 3 little stories. The first one being, of course, Owen's big payday. When Owen's talking about how well he did, how much money he brought in, and stuff like that. Very important. And it also be contextualized, because this is kind of one of those moments where you've got to think about what's going on at the time so you can really get this. So Owen is basically telling you how well this thing did. And this thing did awesome. I can't lie. His $30 bundle did awesome, as it should. Flashback about 5 years earlier. A well-known company, well-known in the industry, well-respected by a guy who'd been involved in the industry at that point, over a decade, well-known, PDF publisher, tried to do something kind of similar to the bundle, but did it in a very different kind of way, but called it something different, and it's something that is kind of interesting. Hey, Troy. It's Adamant Entertainment, and this is back when Adamant Entertainment, before they went away for a little bit and they came back. Adamant Entertainment, back in January of 2011, attempted something kind of new and different, what they refer to as an app pricing model. And of course, I have the link for this post. And basically, Gary's talking about, at the dawn of a new year, Adamant has begun to experiment. And he basically goes and tells you that he's dropping all the prices of all of his products, all of them across the board, doesn't matter what it is, to $1.99 app pricing. And he wanted to see how well things sold. That's the first link. And I've also, actually here, I'm gonna put this link actually in the thread we're watching, because I think it's kind of important. I think you all need to see this to understand, what's going on here, because this is important. This is something that plays into what we're talking about tonight and what's going on with this $30 bundle. So I just dropped it. No, I said, oh, there it is. Here's the link I'm putting in with the stuff. So you can read this as I'm talking if you're interested in this kind of stuff. So this came out, and he basically started selling and talks about how it went. Roughly, 2 months later, he did this post. Yes, in April 4th, 2011. 4 months later, say 3, but it's really 90 days plus whatever. He put out this post to basically the sequel to that is just as important. And to put in context, this one was called A Failed Experiment. So I want you all to read this one too, because I think it's important. I think it gives you a lot of information of what's going on and what happened, and puts it in context. So I'm going to discuss it, some other stuff that you probably don't know, because I know, being involved in the industry a little differently. So Gareth tried this out. He tried this app publishing model. And initially, he got a lot of sales. The first 2 months, he got a lot of sales. And you'll go into it, but here's really the gist. Basically, why I think it didn't work, and here's something that I think will be a problem also if this is attempted with publishers like Owen and stuff like that. All right. when releasing that much product out to people at one time is awesome, because you're going to get a wave of people say, oh my God, look how cheap this is. You got to buy it now. You got to buy it when you can. So people jump on and buy stuff. They totally buy it. You get a flood of people coming to buy it. And I mean, look, to be honest, like I said, it's how many products was it again? Let's confirm this again. 293 books. 293 books from Rogue Genius. And how many books does actually Rogue Genius have? Let's actually look real quick. That's not a good one. Let's maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe John will have it listed or maybe Drive-Thru will have it. So because I want to compare how many books they actually have in their line, because that's kind of important too. Because that's just as important. Actually, even more so. I never thought of it. It's even more so in a sense. Let me see. I can get this real quick, because all right. So let's see if I can get this under Rogue Genius, but it might still be under the other one. Rogue Genius has, come on. Rogue Genius has, oh, this is taking so long. Sorry I'm taking so long, but it's kind of important. I can't tell you how many products Rogue Genius has. Oh, this is upsetting. Sorry, Rogue Genius has 669 products. That's also important. All right. So roughly, Owen put up 50% of his products available for sale at $30. Now, we're going to assume the products he put up were probably ones he wanted to put it up. He put it all together. I'm assuming they're really the Pathfinder. That's why they were sold very well at Open Gaming, and that's just how it worked. The thing is, and this is a problem that I think Gareth understood when he tried it and found out this, and I think most people don't realize, when you put so much material up, when you put up like nearly 300 books, and you give away for $30, you're kind of training people to buy a certain way. At that price point, people couldn't resist. They took the money, they got it, boom. John over at D20 PFWD said, he gave him 2 checks and they were more than 5 digits. Well, I'll tell you this much. I'm gonna guarantee this. This is my personal feeling. It's my idea. I could be totally wrong, but I think the first month's check was an awesome check. It probably was over 10,000. 10,000, no problem. The following month's check, I'm willing to bet you, was like at least 50% of what the first month was. See, here's the problem that people never talk about when they do these kind of things. And it's something I learned while working at Macys that I did for a little bit, and I learned the hard way with this too. When you give away that much product and that stuff, people buy it, they get it, boom, they spent $30, great. It's so much product for them to look through. 9 times out of 10, they may support you on some other products. Like roughly, I'm guessing like 10% of the people will come back and buy this stuff. But some people just bought it for being so cheap and so they just wanted to have it because it's cheap. It's like, oh, I like this guy. I pay $30. Oh, I feel good. I got all this product. They'll never get through all of it. That being also said, we work in a system where people buy stuff because new product comes out. And this is where you get the problem with bloat. Everybody's like, oh, there's so much bloat in games. I wish they'd stop making products. But the same thing, they're like, well, I need new products. So it's the ultimate catch-22. You got to make more products to make people happy, while at the same time not make products because they don't need any more bloat. But it's either they contradict each other. So people want new products all the time. Owen's selling those products to people at that low rate with that much stuff they couldn't pass up. They're going to go back and see his other products and look and say, well, I bought those 300 books for $30. Why would I buy this stuff? Why would I buy? He's got another thing for like $1.99. I mean, that's like, or $3. That's 10%. And I got like, 100 times more stuff. Why would I buy that? So there's that level of resistance that comes in. People, they don't talk about it very much, but it does come in. It happens. And it happens a lot. People, when they get a good deal, they love the good deal. That doesn't automatically mean those same people are going to return and become, buyers of your product. You just don't know. But you're hoping they will be. That's the plan. You're hoping they will be. The other side to this is, how big is the market? At the amount of Owen sold, at the level he sold at, has Owen saturated the market totally to who would have bought his product? for this. Because everyone who probably would have bought a product for this thing bought it already from him. I don't know. I gotta guess it's probably close. You know, let's just say maybe let's say 2,000 people. I know it's gonna be more like 3,000 people bought this thing. Is that math even right? No, it'd be more like, let's say 4,000 people bought. Let's go 4,000. If 4,000 people bought this, is that probably the largest size of the market? Is that the whole market? I'm going to guess probably. I'm guessing that Owen probably reached, because of who he is, because of his relationship, I think he probably reached at least 80% of the market. I'm sure some stuff got over because it was just cheap. And $30, what do you got to lose? But at the same time, he's saturated the market with his product. Owen was already known because of Paizo. He's already known from Bro Genius. He's already known from Green Ronin. So it kind of probably made it very easy for him to do that, more than like regular companies and smaller companies could do. And, you know, like I said, my fear to that is the flip side. The next month, when you told people that all these products are worth $30, how are they going to look at your future products and say, oh, well, that can cost $4. Well, I bought this thing for $30 and it was a super deal. Why? I think people start doing that kind of wavering. Because that's just natural. I think people see things, they know what value is, they know that was too good of a value. Most people say, I can't pass it up. I gotta get it. So they put the money out, and it was a great value. It was an awesome value. But I think he gave them too much value. And people are like, oh, come on, Louis, too much value? Yeah, I think there is. I think this is one of those situations that giving out too much are going to cause an unusual effect on the back end. And it's going to be this odd ripple effect. I think once stuff is sold, I think the following months the sales will be smaller. I think that this will affect other product coming out too. While I'm sure he did get some fans from it. I'm sure more people are already fans of him. So it's like, it's that kind of thing. Now, the other side to this, and this is the part that is going to sound nasty, but it's true. That sale was a winner for Owen. But it definitely was a super winner for the online gaming store. I mean, come on, dude. Their percentage is 25%. That's their cut. So if Owen KC Stevens rocked, 10,000, their cut is $2,500. That ain't bad. I don't care how you slice that. That ain't bad. So Owen selling more is a good thing. They get a percentage, and that's how it works. If I did it at drive-through, they get 35% or 30%, depending. If I did it at Paizo, they take 25%. Whoever's selling it is also making money on this. So they're seeing this thing like, wow, this is awesome. We should do more of these. We should get more people involved in these. Get more people pushing this stuff out. Yeah, I get why your idea is it, of course. And it sounds like a great idea. The problem becomes is the manufacturers involved. This could become a problem for you down the line that you can't see yet. That, reading the 2 posts I put up from Gareth might give you some understanding that, oh, I didn't think about that. Or, oh, how's this going to affect my future sales? And just like if you ever do a sale, Macys was notorious. Let me tell you this little part. Macys was notorious and still is notorious for doing one-day sales. I worked at Macys for 4 years. I was their webmaster. And at the same time, I was helping develop the website, but I also got a great understanding of how they did their one-day sale, what was going on, the marketing they're using. And it's kind of impressive to see when you see a multinational, well-known company with so much influence in how they market. And the one-day sale was a great idea. And I could never, I'm like, why would you guys do one-day sales? I didn't get it. Why would you think? Because they said for the bottom line was the one-day sale was there to train people when to buy. One-day sale, you're getting a great sale, come and buy. So people would flood the stores. They'd sell that one-day stuff where the sales would be, 10 times, 15 times what they'd expect for a normal day, and they walk up. So like the one-day sale was equal to, 15 days worth of selling. That's a great idea. Well, when you're Macys, you can do that, but you got different products, you have different lines, you have different parts of the store. But when you're a PDF publisher, you really can't do that because you really can't expand too far out of the circle of stuff. And, you're going to meet a maximum saturation relatively quickly, depending who you are, but still you should reach a relatively quick saturation point. So when Macys did it, it made a lot of sense. When smaller companies try to do it, even including myself, because I did a one-day sale, my running joke, the one-day sale the last 2 days, because Macys would have a one-day sale on Saturday preview day Friday. Legally, they couldn't call it a one-day sale because technically they were selling on 2 days, but they called it a preview day. Legally, it was okay to do that. I always thought that was the most ridiculous thing ever. It was a 2-day sale. They wanted to make it sound exciting as a one-day sale, but you can go on Friday and get it. And that was a big thing. Get our one-day sale, 2 days. So I did the whole thing. I do it constantly when I did my one-day sales. I used to joke about that all the time. One-day sale, Saturday and Sunday. Like, people were like, why is it 2 days? Don't worry about it. It's a one-day sale. That's all you need to know. And I played that joke forever for as long as I was selling like that. But then I also noticed that people would rush for this sale and they wouldn't buy through the rest of the month. And we're doing this every month. We were like, every month we're doing a one-day sale. People rush for the sale, we have regular day, shoot up with a one-day sale, but back to normal, back to normal, back to normal, back to normal. And then even like a little bit less back to normal because people would come and buy more than they normally would. So you had a little slump right after. And then they cut back to being normal, and then you do a one-day sale. So you constantly do this up and down and stuff like that. But people figured out from us that we were doing one-day sales. So you could see they started buying less during the time. So we stretched out the time, and we did one-day sales for a couple of years. And we saw over time how it changed what people were buying, because people were waiting for the sale. Because they knew there was going to be a sale, so that's what they said, oh, I got to get it. I got to get where the sale's hot. I got to get it. After that, they might say, oh, well, I like this guy's products, but I'm going to wait. I know it's going to be on sale, so I'll wait. Now, with all that being said, we also do a Black Friday sale. It's, Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. It runs from Black Friday to Cyber Monday. Boom. It's a sale that we do. We used to do it twice a year. We did it on Black Friday, and we did another one during GM's Day. Kind of now we just do it for Black Friday because it's important. It's like the one day. It's our one-day sale. We basically mark all of our PDFs that are, $3 and less, or $4 and less at $1. And then like from $4 to $7 or $9, it's like 50% off, and the ones above that, it's like 25%. So it's it's called our Black Friday, Cyber Monday dollar sale, and we've been doing it for years. And what happens? That day we promote it. We promote that devil out of it. Black Friday, boom, we are promoting. What happens? Big, huge sale. After the sale's over, a dip because people are recovering from buying. And then, by the end of January, the sales get back to being when they're normal, steady where they should be. And that happens. I think the problem that happened with, that's happening with a 30-day bundle, they're going to have a reaction now and the next couple of months. And then now it might be they might get more people actually buying their products because people say, well, yeah, I really like this product. I'm going to buy more. But I think it's going to be less just because the people who love you, and they're buying you anyway. There's some people who bought probably a lot of your stuff would say, oh, I'd buy the rest of the stuff. Boom. You make yourself an automatic fan base. That's a good thing too, but it may not equate to money. So it's just a very interesting mindset with this thing. Like I said, having seen it done 5 years earlier, a variation of it, it's kind of interesting. That's one of the advantages I have over a lot of publishers. Since I've been doing this so long, I've seen so many things come and go that people have forgotten about, haven't thought about, haven't seen. And some things I thought were brilliant, some things I thought were stupid, some things I wanted to see how it worked out. Some as a business guy, it fascinates me. But the mass selling thing, I've always seen, even for my own personal thing, it's not a good thing long term. It is very much a devaluing your product long term. Not in the sense of people will wait. People, once they realize you got a rhythm, you're going to be doing this more often, they're going to wait. They're going to wait till the thing's cheapest for them to buy, and that's when they're going to buy it. Now, if you've got, like me, 600 products or something like that, I can back up 200 products and sell it for, $25. And, oh my God, it's the coolest thing ever. And people will knock themselves out to get it. Is that a bad thing? No, of course it's not a bad thing. It's pretty much awesome. But that being said, I know it's going to have an effect on my other products. And if you're a small company where suppose you only have 60 products and you put them all up, you say, I'm going to do all 60 for $25, and boom, people go through the 60. It's interesting that could actually wind up destroying you, because part of this is all about understanding how people buy, the logic behind how people buy. This isn't just I mean, this stuff, it sounds good in your head, but you're saying, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I sell at $1, they'll buy a bunch, they buy $1, and they'll buy more. That doesn't always happen. You know, those observations have been proven not to be what you think they are. And look, you should try anything. Owen tried it, got a loop full of money, boom. Oh, and once again, Owen's in a very different situation than most people are. Owen is not like the typical publisher. You know, I mean, look, the guys that consider not to be typical publishers just because who they are, the relationships with Paizo, and this is all for Paizo, and the relationship in the industry. Owen, not like a typical guy. Clinton Boomer, not like a typical guy. Jason over at Legendary Games, not like a typical guy. Tim Hitchcock, not like a normal guy. Yeah, Nick Lowe, not a typical guy. Richard Peet, not a typical guy. Those guys can do products that will sell on their name because they built it over time and they're well known, they're well established like that. Most people aren't those guys. Most of you are not in the top league. Just the guys I just announced. Sorry, nothing personal. It just is what it is. Deal with your own personal problems about it. That's what we do. And since that's the way it is, you're not going to sell like they do. You're going to have people resistant to you because it says third-party publisher right off the bat. Owen puts out stuff, Paizo. And I've heard people say, oh, the third-party stuff, it can't be as good. It's like, well, you know, Owen has his own third-party company. Oh, it can't be as good as the Paizo stuff. Same guy writes the best thing. Well, it can't be the same. That's how I don't want to say snooty, but snooty some people are, because the Paizo stuff is golden and nothing can be as good as that. Nothing. And some people's mentality has been like that since day one. And that's the same thing with WotC, with any major company that has like an OGL license. The third-party guys can never be as good as the original company because it doesn't say official Paizo, even though 90% of the time it's the same guys freelancing for both. So I don't understand that mentality. Oh God, I mean that's just amazing to me. People get like this whole, oh my God, if it's not made by WotC or Paizo, it must be substandard. Except when you think Mike Merles came up, you know, to the 3.5 regs, worked for a lot of small companies. I'm like one of the companies that I didn't work with. I mean, he worked with so many guys I know, it's kind of ridiculous. And now he works there. And now he's revered as being a great designer. Well, during his 3.5 days and 3.0 days, he's just a hack. So it's one of those very funny things that happen. So perspective. All of this is about perspective. So if you're thinking about doing a 30-thing bundle, that's a good idea. Try it. But understand the repercussions of what you'll do in the long term. So try to find ways you can maximize your money with this. Like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You shouldn't try it. You should try it. Try anything. See how it works. And see how it affects your sales. And if you keep doing it and it works for you, hey, it works for you, great. If you keep doing it and cause you to go out of business, hey, I told you, I told you why I thought it was wrong. You did it. Things happen. Hey, I can't do any more than that. But just want to put that information out there, readily available for you all, giving you some information. And I know some people are like, oh, you're bad-mouthing these people. I'm not bad-mouthing. These are people I know and respect, and they're friends. That's why I'm saying this. I want you to understand every point of view of this. Because, look, the name of this show is called Transparency Agenda. Well, daily, but Transparency Agenda. I'm going to tell you why I'm telling you. I'm going to be honest about it, and I'm not going to try to BS you about it. Good, bad, friends or not. And it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. If you are my friend, I'm going to tell the truth. And they know that. You know, Owen's a friend. Owen's going to come on the show in 2 weeks to be interviewed. I'm probably going to ask him about this. Some people are going to be like, well, why don't you ask him about that? Sure, I'll ask Owen about that. I know Owen. He's a good guy. I want to hear his opinion on this. And knowing Owen, he'll tell you a lot of the good stuff and what worked for him and what didn't. That's the cool thing. That's what we're doing here. We're just trying to give out really good information, really awesome ideas, get inside people's heads and really just make you think. You know, but like I said, don't always just take what I say as word for gospel. Check it out. Trust, but verify. There's nothing wrong with that. If you try it out, you get a bunch of money, you're good to go. You spend that money on something constructive. And to put it in perspective, this is what I'll tell you before we get out of here. Back in the, what was it? In the 2002 to 2004, because that's when I was making Meetings and Mastermind stuff. That's how I remember it very well. Because our sales went up, basically exponentially. And I think I've mentioned this to people before. People didn't know this. In 2003, 2003 or 2004, actually 2004, I think it was. I bought my first car ever, my own money, put it up, bought the car. So in 2002, I was running about $100 a month through RPG Now. 2003, we were doing about $400 at that point. 2004, we were doing about $1,600. So notice that nice little whoop. And that was back then when Vince Mastermind was super hot. We were just doing a lot of stuff. It was still pretty, we were still pretty small, but we had a lot of fans who liked that, and that's how we made some money. So a lot of the money I was making at that point, a lot of people don't know this. Maybe I have told the story. Maybe I told it a million times, maybe in bars, but not here. The money I was making with that stuff on RPG Now, I was using that money to pay for my car. I literally bought a car with my PDF money, and I paid it off a year early. Not it was 5 years. It was 5 years. I did pay it off in 4. That's how well the money was doing for us back then. Is the money doing well now? Yeah, it's doing well. Am I complaining? No. I'd like to make more money, but at the same time, as a publisher, I've only released like 4 products or maybe 5 products this year. I mean, besides the stock art, but I mean, like my own stuff, we've only like maybe 4 or 5 products. We had Kickstarter with it, but we're not doing like a product a week like we used to do. We're not doing a product a month like we used to do. I went, what was it? I figured out it was like 4 or 5 months this year at the beginning. We didn't release a product. We were just like coasting along while we were working on the Kickstarter stuff. We're just coasting along, and that's all we were doing. And we were making good money. We weren't complaining. So, it's just stuff like this you got to think about. You can always make money doing this stuff. You just got to be crafty about it. Always be crafty about it. That's why we do this. So there you go. All right, it's 9:30. It's time to go. As always, this always looks weird when I do this, but you can't. And Facebook looks retarded. YouTube, subscribe. The button should be down there. Subscribe. Always subscribe. Very important. Tomorrow is Wednesday. It's comic book day, but I'm not going to lie to you. We have a hurricane coming, so we might be changing it up some stuff. So I don't know what we might be doing here on Wednesday. And Thursday, we may or may be doing a show, depending if you have power. If we don't, I'll put a post up. I'll find some way to get power. This is going to be a crazy, crazy thing. So, potential hurricane. Things happen. What can I say? All right, everybody. You have a good night, and I'll talk to you all later.